Alright, there's some issues with the whole SD card thing, I guess. Because I do have a proper SD card now, so I can make a really long video if I wanted to. Um, but there's some, I don't know. I don't know. Never mind, I'm not gonna get into it. It's too much to explain. I had just made a video that lasted like 16 minutes talking about 3 things, and I gotta get back into the swing of things. Like, honestly, I haven't been making videos consistently for like a month or so now. Because I didn't have a phone. But now I do have a phone, so I just gotta learn how to speak again. Not like I was very good at it in the first place. But, basically the week was kind of not too hectic, I guess. I guess it was just busy. Where it's spring break, and I don't usually do anything during spring break. Um, we have swing practice. Did I say swing? Swim practice. Um, for last week at least, we had it in the morning. So it was like at 8 or so to 10. Man, I kind of like it, actually. Because in the morning, it's cold, which means it's guaranteed that the water in the pool is heated. I like the pool heated better than the pool not heated. But I will say on Monday, the showers were not quite so. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because um, showers weren't used to being on in the morning, so I guess there was a switch that they forgot to hit. But basically, the water in the showers was cold in the morning of Monday, and it was not very pleasant at all. Especially, for you go in and you're like, oh, it's cold, but you get in the pool, right? Pool's warm. Pool's super warm. You can see like steam coming off of it. Um, but but then you realize after 2 hours you have to get out, and then you have to rinse off in the cold shower again, and it was basically like you never went in the pool in the first place. But it was fun. I wish more people showed up. Actually, no, I don't mind people not showing up to practice as much as awful as that sounds. I mean, it is a sport. It is a team sport, so you kind of want people to show up. But it was nice having a lane to yourself, I guess. Not like I had my own lane. Kind of didn't want my own lane because I was super tired, so I tend to stop like just shy of the end of the lane. So I usually get the lane closest to the edge, and that's the lane where the expert swimmer of the group uses. I don't know why he uses that lane, like because it's secluded in the corner, I guess, or whatever. Everyone's like, oh, like don't mess with him or something like oh, like he's super cool swimmer, so maybe leave him alone or something. I was like, well, I don't really care. He's kind of a jerk, so nah, he's fine. Um, but yeah, it's like people made him out to be this sort of god character, but it's like nah, it's just like dude. Um, but that's pretty much the entire week. 2 Saturdays so far have been parties. The first, actually, let's talk about yesterday, I guess. Yesterday I had planned out a little party, for my friends to come over. My friend offered to make chicken Alfredo, and I helped him make it. And he said I didn't do a very good job cutting up the chicken, because apparently I was supposed to, like, shred it. And then, I thought about it and said, why don't I just break out the blender or whatever? Because he told me to get a fork and just start stabbing it. I said, that's awful. He said, or you could use those pair of scissors. I was like, all right, perfect. So I did that, and then you realize how much chicken I had to slice up. And he says, you didn't do a good job. He says it's supposed to be shredded. Apparently it wasn't so. Apparently it was all cubed and stuff. He needed it smaller. And says, well, who cares? But when I'd have the little party things, my friend called them kickbacks because it wasn't actually a party. It was just inviting a few people over. But this time around, I had underestimated the amount of people I said you want to come over on Saturday to, because I ended up having 7 people in the room, which it kind of stressed me out for like 5 seconds because I've never had that many people come over before. So I didn't realize. Even my friend who was like, even my friend who was cooking, I told him like, I hope you can make enough for 7 people, and he's like, 7 people, right? Because it was a lot. Because he's been at my house before, and he's realized every time I have people over. There's like only two other people besides him. So he said, "Oh, it's fine." No, it's seven people in the room. So I guess it was a little bit stressful to him. Um, I told people to show up at 2. Not everyone did that, so we didn't really get to do much of anything because I was kind of hoping to wait for everyone else to show up before we did anything. Um, my friend who was gonna cook did show up on time, and so did my friend who I invited. I'm glad she came over because I don't know. I'm still kind of I'm still gauging it out to see if we're cool or not, and I'm pretty sure we are. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm glad she came over, and I actually invited her over because she's never seen Guardians of the Galaxy, and probably the worst time to show someone a movie is when you have a bunch of people over because I had the movie on and we just talked all over it. So fantastic. Um, well, so it got a bit not hectic, but it got loud. It did make for a great game of Cards Against Humanity, though. Um, Cards Against Humanity is a great board game for horrible people. It says so on the box. Um, we went quite a few rounds, so much in fact that we never got to do the thing that I wanted to do because my friend who had a 3DS for an entire year never bought a game or was never able to buy a game. Um, so she had a 3DS, no game, and the first game she buys, she tells me it's Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS, and I go, yes, because we've all been playing it, and everyone, like, I guess the truest of the Smash fans keep talking about how the 3DS version of the game sucks or something, but you do realize the appeal of it is the fact that more people own a 3DS than they do a Wii U, considerably so, or at least it's more accessible to people. Like people who want a game system but don't really want to commit will probably buy a handheld or buy a phone because they need it to be portable, right? That's the thing. You can go outside and just battle strangers with it. So that's the appeal of the 3DS version. Is you can just go out and just have random local battles everywhere, right? It's fun that way. So me and my group of friends have a lot of fun with the game, and we've been trying to get people to get the game so we can all play. But she had the game, and since she hadn't been playing the 3DS for an entire year, it ran out of battery, and she doesn't have a charger for it because she lost it. And I said, darn. And before we could even play it, she had to go. So we never got around to actually playing Smash. It was kind of, because, we never got to do it. I was kind of mad. Not mad, but I was disappointed. But I said, next time. And then, so she hadn't been able to play because she didn't have a charger. So she came over and she said, can I charge my 3DS here? I said, sure. So she did that, and this morning she tried to boot it up, and she realized her 3DS doesn't have an SD card or something like that. She said she got a little error message that says to play this game you need an SD card, and I said that's weird because she had bought her 3DS used, but there were pictures of the previous owner on it, and I said don't you need an SD card to take those pictures and save them onto the system? Like it can't be internal storage, can it? Like that'd be weird. So she said, just look at it on Monday. Okay, so we'll do that, I guess. I hope I know what I'm doing. I hope I don't just break her 3DS. She got a pretty good price on it. I mean, at the time that they were selling the 3DS was like $200, so she got it for $80. Which might sound a bit suspicious, but if it works, it's worked fine. I guess it just doesn't have an SD card. I don't know if we actually checked if there's an SD card on it. Hopefully there is. And if actually, what? I'm kind of hoping there isn't, because if there is an SD card on it, and the game's like you need an SD card, there might be something more internal. We might need to send it in for repairs. That's the thing, or we need to buy her a new SD card, which for a 3DS is a bit expensive. I don't know why. I mean, you can buy an SD card for a phone, and it's like, oh, this is 64 gigs of memory. How much is it? Like $12. I'm like, okay. It's the same thing for the Vita as well, where this like the lowest you can buy is a $20 card, I think, and that's for like 2 GB or 8 or something like that. I don't know. It's a ridiculous price. I know that much. Um, but it was pretty much that was pretty much the entire day. The entire day yesterday was summed up by, let's see, what were the activities? I brought out Jenga blocks, and we had an impressive tower which I took a picture of on it, and then we played Cards Against Humanity. No, we watched Guardians, and then after that we played Cards Against Humanity, and then everyone left pretty much. And there's one other thing that I told people to just call me if they're at the door because I didn't want them to ring the doorbell because every time the dog hears the doorbell, he kind of just loses his mind a bit. So I said, just call me, I'll open the garage for you. He's less likely to lose his mind that way, but he will still, like, be all up in your face as soon as he entered the door. I just don't want to have him barking around everywhere. And I could have told him to just text me, but the thing is, I had just gotten this cool new ringtone, and it's this remix of John Cena's John Cena's theme from Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. Max Landis made a video and put it up on YouTube called Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, and basically it explains what wrestling actually is, which, for people that like wrestling or people who know people that like wrestling, like, the general response is like, wrestling is fake, right? You know that, right? And yeah, I do understand that wrestling's fake, but that's not the reason why I like it. The reason why I like it is because it's fake. Like it's not because I think it's real, but because I know it's not, in the fact that it's just a story. It's like a soap opera, kind of. And so it's like a 20-something minute video explaining the story of Triple H from his beginnings all the way to present day. And it's pretty succinct. And it's pretty, I mean, I'm not really that big into wrestling, but I do understand, I do understand the appeal, and I don't discredit wrestling anymore ever since I started getting into Two Best Friends Play, and they talk about wrestling a lot, but, I guess I'm not against wrestling. I guess I'm not going to say I'm too into it, but I will say, like, I think it's pretty cool. I don't know why I took that off and just put it back on, but I had gotten a remix, or like this weird acapella version of John Cena's "My Time Is Now" theme, and it's this bad, like, doo 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 doo, and so every time someone would call, I would hear that, but no one actually called. Like, two people actually called, and so I just kind of bust out laughing every time I had it on, and then it's like 3 round, or like half a rotation around Cards Against Humanity. I just started playing it on repeat, and we kind of just laughed for a few hours. I don't know how long we played Cards Against Humanity. We must have played it for a while, because I looked at the clock, it was like 8 or 9:30. So everyone kind of left relatively early, which, I was kind of, I didn't really care too much, because at the same time, it's like, that's a lot of people, so I kind of want you guys out of my house. So I didn't mind that everyone left a bit early. People usually leave around 10 or 10:30, kind of left an hour early. Everyone had rides, except for 2 people. One I said I'd give a ride to because he cooked, and the other one I kind of gave a ride because, I felt bad, because I told everyone to get a ride, and she said, I'm not going to get a ride until 11:30. I said, I don't mind you hanging around. Maybe we can kick back and watch a movie or so before you get picked up. And then on the day of the party, she's like, oh, I'm actually not getting picked up till 2 in the morning. And I said, that's a long time, but you're just one person. Just don't make a mess. That's fine with me. But then on my way, I brought her along with me to drop off my friend to his house. I knew where he lived. I've been there before, so I knew exactly where to go. But she's like, I don't live that far away from here. And she just kept trying to convince me to take her home. So I said, you know what, fine, I'll just take you home. She said she didn't live that far away from here, and I guess that's true. But I had never been to her house before. And the way there was completely new to me. It was completely strange. There's even this one weird 5-way intersection. It's kind of like where the DMV is, I think, where you have to, like, adjacently move into the lane, like not straight in front of you, but kind of, and like not a left turn, but you have to make it. Yeah, it's hard. It's like this weird five-way intersection, and I didn't like it at all. But so I was kind of just freaking out the entire time. I was kind of, you know, a bit under. I felt pressured because I didn't want to get lost. Because if I dropped her off, that meant I'd be going home by myself. Um, so I kind of just didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. But I did it anyway, so that's fine, I guess. I get a text message from her halfway through the car ride, so I read it, and it's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And I got home. I felt really bad though because the entire ride home, I just kept going like, you said you live super close. I felt like I was giving her like grief for it. I hope I'm gonna talk to her on Monday, but I hope she didn't feel bad about it because I kind of just wanted to go home. I wanted to have someone with me on my way home, because I didn't live that far away from it, but I didn't want to drive by myself for a few minutes, and I ended up having to spend extra amount of times by myself because her house was farther away from here. And then I get home and I look at the table, and she leaves her keys and the shirt she bought from our club and on the table, and I go, you know what? There's a word for that, and I don't know what it is. It's not serendipity. I feel like it's the exact opposite of it. Like it's like a coincidence, but not a good coincidence. Like it's like something along those lines. But by the way, here's the shirt. Here's the shirt we got. Our club president designed it and ordered it for us. She drew that bunny. It says Anime Club. It looks like it says Mina Bulk to me, but it says Anime Club in Comic Sans. And a big bunny. It's nice quality. I like the shirt. I like the shirt a lot. I hope it doesn't get ruined in the future. I hope it doesn't get ruined in the wash. I hope it just gets softer. Because I have a shirt that's similar material. It's my Assassin's Creed shirt. I feel like it's the same quality, but the Assassin's Creed shirt's definitely softer. But that was my weekend. I didn't even get to talk about the other party I went to, but I'll talk about that next week, I guess. Until then, I hope everyone has a good Sunday. If you celebrate Easter, I hope you have a good Easter Sunday. But to everyone else, it's just a regular Sunday. Just have fun with it. You can't go outside today because everywhere is closed apparently. So just enjoy. Just sit down, relax, watch a video or two. So until then, I guess. Peace out.